good, everybody? This is Ace of All Trade 2, back at it again with another Triple Threat Sports podcast. Hope you guys are having a great day so far. To my left of me, my co-host Stiggy, say what up.
What up, what up?
To the right of me, say what up, JG.
What's up?
All right, you guys, so we're back at it again, here to talk about some more sporting news, all that good stuff. And this news in particular with the NBA actually happened right after we recorded the last podcast. If you guys did get a chance to check it out, there'll be a link down in the description box below, so check it out. So Derrick Rose is considering retiring. JG, what are your thoughts about this?
I mean,
I wish Flock was in this one.
Oh yeah, true.
Man.
So you can really talk about it.
Right.
I feel like this is about that time. I'm actually not mad that he's thinking about retiring, because every single year, Derrick Rose has had an issue. I can't even remember the last time that he has played an entire season. If anyone could quote me on that. But I don't remember the last time. It's been a long time since since he won the MVP. I think that's probably the last time. But even then, he probably was injured in some games too. I don't think he played all 82.
Somebody drinking?
Siggy opened up.
All right, you opened up a bottle, Siggy?
Yeah, I got my Sam Adams.
You pouring one out for Derrick Rose?
I'm doing the Drake. Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
man.
True. But anyways, yeah, I think it's about that time. It's a sad day because we all know Derrick Rose's potential, but his body just is not working with him, man. So before he suffers like anything super critical that's going to take him out forever, I think that it is actually a good idea to reevaluate what's going on with his basketball career. The only terrible thing is, again, like he's going to lose that deal with Adidas that they were talking about. I think it was like $80 million deal with them. So there's going to be a lot of money out of his pocket if he does decide to to make this decision. But again,
now, I heard that this is more mental, not necessarily physical.
It's a little bit of both. It has to.
You remember the year that he sat out completely? Like, even though he was healthy, he just was on the bench. That was definitely a mental year.
That's the reason why a lot of people were on him. A lot of people in social media were like, "Oh, you should feel sorry for him," yada yada. A lot of people are not going to buy that though after what he did to the Bulls.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely more mental, but it's obviously physical, because literally, like, I don't even know how many games he played this season, and I was like, damn, he already out, and then one game turned into 2 games, turned into 3 games, turned into a whole week. Like, so I don't know, man. Like, I just think that right now this might be the best decision for him, whether it's mental or physical. We know it's definitely physical if he keeps going out and doesn't even play an entire season. You're not any help to your team with that, and it's sad, man, because again, we all know his potential, but it is what it is. I'm not mad at him trying to reevaluate.
Yeah, I mean,
look, as a Knicks fan, last year he almost tried to pull this on them too. Whenever they were struggling, I don't know, I forget what he hurt. I don't know if he twisted his ankle or what, but it was something that was only supposed to be, initially 3 to 5 days, and he stretched it for like 2 weeks. Then came rumors that he disappeared and a whole bunch of stuff. Remember that?
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, there's something going on where he either looks at his social media and he sees everybody cussing at him or something, but there's like this mental block that just makes him just not want to play, and I don't know what that is. I mean, if he's afraid to get hurt, then obviously he's not in the right sport, because that kind of stuff happens all the time. So I don't know. I don't, like I said, if he wants to retire at this point, he should, because I don't think pretending to be somebody you're not, if he doesn't want to be a player, is something that he should do. Maybe he's just mad that the whole glory that everybody had for him is gone, and now he just doesn't like the criticism anymore. I can understand that more if he just says it like that. I think you guys bring up some good points, but I think it's a little bit of both. I definitely do think it's mental, but it strings from the physical injuries that he's had throughout the years. You keep having, let's think about it like this. Ignore the outside world for the moment. Just think about him in particular in his mind. When it comes to him physically hurting himself over and over and over again, it's going to put a little bug in the back of your head, and it's going to have you wondering,
what if I do this to my body? What if I make this wrong turn? What if I go too fast? What if I go too slow? What if I jump the wrong way? What if I come down on my ankle, my knee, anything like that? It's probably going through this man's head. So, and from a mental standpoint, I can completely understand the reason why he would want to leave and reevaluate everything, because he doesn't want to be one of these players later on down the road when he's like in his 40s and his 50s and he can barely walk. But this is the thing. This is something that all athletes have to go through, professional or not. At the end of the day, they do have to think about that. Now, it's unfortunate that some players don't think about that prior to them, completely destroying their body. But I can't knock Derrick Rose for being like that. Now, what Siggy's saying also has some truth into it too. Yes, you're dealing with the mental aspect of the fact that you are possibly gonna get yourself hurt. Plus, you add the added noise from the fans, your peers, family members, whoever else is in his ear. It's probably a really hard thing to deal with. And yeah, it's probably kind of pushed him away from wanting to play as well. But I don't think that has a major role. I think it does have some type of role, but I don't think it's major. But going back and forth and, seeing it from the outside perspective, I don't blame him for doing that. But when it comes to business, oh, yeah, that's a terrible... Yeah, I mean, I know he's made a lot of money. And I'm sure Derrick Rose hasn't been extravagant or spent all of his money. Now, if he was in a financial binge where he didn't have money like that, then he's just gonna have to suck it up and just get that 80 million. But I would think that he was a little bit more smarter with his money, and he has.
What did he get? What was his injury this time though? It was just his ankle, right? Discomfort. I mean, I don't. This is why I think it's super mental, not necessarily physical.
I think it's
everything. It's not like he tore his knee. It's not like he did that again.
But that's the thing. The fact that you said again. Once you injure something like that, you're always going to have something in the back of your mind. If
that's the case, then how come all these other athletes are not being thinking about retirement?
Well,
why are we making him the exception?
No, I'm not saying we're not making him the exception. I'm just saying from a mental standpoint, some people's mental ability is stronger than others, and that's why I agreed with you when you were talking about him on the mental side, letting the outside voices push him away, push him to a decision of retiring. But I also think it's a combination of other things too, and maybe mentally he never got over the fact that he messed up his knee. I mean, for example, like I know a whole bunch of guys that play hard no matter what sport it is, but in the back of their head they do think about their injuries because they want to try to prevent it. So that, like I said, that all has something to do with it. It's a combination of everything. But as a business wise, this man still has 7 seasons with Adidas. So if he backs out and he just says I'm done, then that's $80 million on the table that Adidas doesn't have to pay him. That's a lot of money, fam.
Well, they're going to be pushing it for him to retire.
Nah, I don't think Adidas will push him to retire. I think Adidas
say 80 million. I think
no. What Adidas should do, even as a company, they like the man. They wouldn't be paying him this much money if they didn't like him.
Well, how long ago was that contract?
Like I said, he still has 7 seasons.
Back in his MVP day, though, when he started, though, I mean, that's the reason why they liked him back then.
Yeah, I'm sure they still like him now, but like I said, they'll probably just, they'll probably be like, hey, we're gonna support Derrick Rose in any possible way, the decision he makes. Obviously, it's a business, so if they don't have to pay the $80 million, why would they?
I'm pretty sure more people are buying Steph Marbury's shoes than Derrick Rose's shoes right now.
I mean, Steph Marbury is a legend internationally,
especially in China. Yep.
Especially in China, so that actually would make some sense.
Hey, those $5 Starburys were awesome.
Man. All right, so speaking of the Cavaliers, let's go ahead and talk about LeBron James and Dwayne Wade. We talked about this after the signing of Dwayne Wade going to the Cavaliers, but apparently the locker room is still, some people in the locker room is still not happy with Dwayne Wade being there, and LeBron is coming to his aid, saying, and I think he said something along the lines of, he wants to, why wouldn't you want a guy that has a championship mentality? Like, it's effed up, but it is what it is, and that's what he had said. Siggy, what are your thoughts about this?
Oh wait, I'm lost in the story. What is it? What happened?
So the players are still talking about in the Cavaliers. The locker room is apparently not happy with the fact that Dwayne Wade still signed with the Cavaliers and that he's there. And
why? He's getting them points off the bench.
LeBron is defending his friend, and not just his friend, but his teammate. And you know what? Absolutely. If you could
So why? I'm pretty sure the only person that would complain about it is J.R. Smith, right? Because everybody else sucks in that team.
I'm sure.
Aside from LeBron James and Kevin Love doing it, then because we already know that J.R. had a problem because he wanted to start. But who else has a problem with Dwayne Wade?
It couldn't be anybody else if you think about it, because Kevin Love and LeBron aren't going to say anything. I can't imagine Kyle Korver would say anything. So, and then everybody else is hurt or just not doing anything. J.R. Smith is the only one that's really out there. It has to be him. But in the end, if it is J.R. Smith, why does his voice doesn't care? Talk for the whole Cavs team. So why is anybody even paying attention to what he's saying about that? If that's the case, clearly
there's some issues in the locker room. I mean, people are voicing, and it can't just be J.R. Smith. There's no way in hell that it's just J.R. Smith, because if it was J.R. Smith, I don't think the story would be as big as it is. But
let's see what it says. It says here that a lot of people were mad that Richard Jefferson was cut to make room for Dwayne Wade. I mean, come on, Jefferson was old and crusty at that point. I mean, he had some good games in every night.
I think Jefferson also probably brought good team morale and team chemistry, and maybe in the locker room and everything like that, and a lot of guys like him. So maybe that's why they were upset. But at the same time, it's Dwayne Wade. Yes, he's a shell of his former self, but I don't know. I think they just had to get used to it. I can understand.
He's still better than anything that they had though in the bench and starter. He's definitely better than J.R. Smith.
Right. I mean, I could understand if he came through like in locker room, whatever, and was acting like a dick to everybody. It was like, "Yo, f you, my boy LeBron."
He even took himself out of the starting lineup. I mean, he even took himself out of the starting lineup because he wasn't happy with how he's performing. Yeah, that's somebody that's actually doing it for the team.
Yeah, I know. It makes the Cavaliers look bad. It does.
Maybe Shumpert. I forget about him. He's also on the team. Maybe that's the only other person I can think of besides JR is Chump.
Maybe, but I don't know. JG, what are your thoughts about this, man?
Yeah, I mean, like I said before, it's like I don't know who else will be upset with him. Like Dwayne, like you just said, like he literally like, I'm not playing well, so let me call up the bench. Like JR, you can have it, and he's been outplaying JR. Yeah. So I honestly don't understand like who else would have an issue. Like if we knew who else was doing it, I know they ain't gonna snitch or whatever to really reveal who else has a problem. But it might literally just be JR again, and at this point, I don't know what else he's mad at because you got the starting job, my guy. So just play better.
He's still not doing anything with that.
Yeah, right? Like you're still not doing anything with it. So you literally like you're not proving any points like that you even deserve that starting job over a nigga who's won 2 championships with another damn team. Like I don't know. What is it, 3?
It almost sounds like JR is mad that he is starting and he's still getting outplayed by Dwayne Wade.
Maybe, but that's his own fault at that point. Like you gotta figure out where the points are gonna come from, and LeBron's gonna get the bulk of the points, and Kevin Love is getting the bulk of the points until IT comes back. So it's like who else is gonna step up? Is it gonna be Jay Crowder? Is it gonna be Jeff Green? Is it gonna be Iman Shumpert? No, it needs to be you. But it's been Dwayne Wade. Like Dwayne Wade coming off the bench, he's been great. So I don't know what else to say, man. I understand why LeBron, wants to defend. Like that's his best friend. Like
best friend. Also,
so why would you not say anything? Like it's not even just y'all the teammates again. That's your actual friend. So it doesn't surprise me that he's defending him once again for whatever is going on.
Right. And also, Dwayne was averaging almost 20 points with the Bulls, right, last year.
Yep.
And like 4 assists or 6 rebounds, whatever it was. But anyways, Richard Jefferson was averaging like maybe 8 points a game. So I wouldn't even understand the concept that I would rather have Jefferson over Wade argument. It doesn't make any sense. So I can't imagine anybody would actually say to themselves, we're a better team with Jefferson. You know what I mean?
Right.
It makes no sense. That's why it has to be J.R. Smith.
He would just be giving morale, but like, did y'all really like Richard Jefferson that much? Like, I love Richard Jefferson as a player, but we all know that he was just old, so you're not really doing much on the offensive end. It's just
at least Vince Carter is still putting up some games where he had
Vince Carter is he's putting in work. Man, as old as he is, as long as he's been in the league. But let's speaking of LeBron. So this made headlines. So the first time ever in LeBron James' 15-year career, he actually, and
I hated this.
I bet. He actually got ejected. He got ejected out of the third quarter, and they were actually going against the Miami Heat. They were leading at the time 93-70. So what ended up happening is, just to you guys out there that don't necessarily know what was going on, after a steal, LeBron James dribbled the ball up the court. He missed the layup, and then he argued with referee Kane Fitzgerald that one of the Heat players, I believe it was James Johnson, fouled him.
You know it's serious when you know the name of the ref, because nobody knows the names of the refs.
I know, right?
Right.
They say, oh yeah, he did it.
Yeah, so James Johnson fouled him and on the attempt. And then basically Fitzgerald felt that he gave James a technical foul, and then he ejected him afterwards. And this is actually kind of surprising, because we've seen LeBron like bitch and complain and moan about a lot of things, and to actually seeing King James himself get ejected was very new. JG, your thoughts?
I was watching this game. And I didn't even know that he got ejected. Like, I couldn't believe it when I actually saw. I said, "Wait a minute, this man is not in the game." I thought that they just put him on the bench.
Right, they subbed him out.
Paying attention. I wasn't paying attention at that particular time, because I know they took Kevin Love out. He didn't even play the entire fourth quarter. But I was like, "Wow, like they're really happy." And then I saw the replay, and the referee said that he threw a punch in his direction. So I said, "Oh, you scared of the black man, huh?" So he didn't even give him 2 takes. He immediately gave him a take and immediately threw him. I was like, "Damn, like that's kind of harsh, ain't it?" But I mean, like I said, it's a time for everything, man. I know that a lot of people are like, "Man, y'all give a lot of calls to LeBron James. He can't do no wrong." But hey, he got ejected for the first time ever. So I guess it, what happened eventually. It's crazy, but I don't think that was warranted at all. I definitely don't think
out of all the things he's done over the years,
he's done worse.
One.
Yeah, exactly. But like I said, he was fearing for his life. He was just a scary ass ref that night. Like, why would you think that he would punch you? He would not punch you. Yes, he did throw it in your direction, but it was some feet between y'all, bro. Like, he wasn't in your face throwing the punch. He just threw a punch in your direction, then walked up on you. But I guess he was just feeling the type of way, man. It wasn't his night, baby. He was mad that he went back to Cleveland from Miami. You never know. You never know.
I guess
that hurt my DFS. The DraftKings.
Oh man!
And I was thinking, oh, he's gonna give me 70 plus, and
you still put up a stat line, but obviously
more.
He put up
money.
More.
And those 20 points. That 20 points cost $20.
Right. Let's see. At the time of the ejection, he had 21 points. He was 10 for 16, 12 rebounds, and 6 assists.
See that triple double? That cost me the triple double bonus.
Damn!
He probably had another 10 points in him. At least 4 more rebounds. Man, I'm telling you.
Right. Even Dwayne Wade was shocked. They were like, "What?"
Yeah, that just doesn't happen. But hey.
And of course, Enes Kanter tweets out, "King of Cleveland, his favorite playground, strive for greatness." And then circles the ref and everything like that when LeBron got ejected.
Kanter's a beast, man.
That's a funny guy, man.
Right. So the only this is an interesting stat. The only active players right now that had more games than LeBron and haven't been ejected are San Antonio Spurs, Tony Parker, and Paul Gasol. Tony Parker 1,144 games. Paul Gasol 1,139 games. Jeez.
That makes total sense.
Absolutely.
Actually, Gasol, he gets heated, especially when he was back in Lakers days.
But the Spurs though. Not the Spurs.
No, that was the Spurs. But when he was with Lakers, I'm surprised he didn't get ejected at all.
They love that man out there, though. I
bet you if you Google his picture, you're gonna see a lot of looking weird, angry pictures of Paul Gasol.
But Paul Gasol always looks angry sometimes, unless he's just like chilling. And Tony Parker especially makes sense. I mean,
he doesn't even talk. I don't think I've ever heard him say a word. So
I mean, he talks, but yeah. But anyways, Blake Griffin, you guys called it. He's out. Called it. Said it when we were doing a draft for fantasy basketball. Said it before. We've talked about this numerous times off camera. This man is accident prone. He is injury prone. What's up? What were your thoughts behind Blake Griffin being out for a while? Siggy, I know you said that he may be out. You think he may be out longer than 2 months. Why do you think that?
Well, because it's 2 months without surgery. So he's trying to just let it heal on its own and whatnot. And it usually what happens when that, whenever people decide to make that decision, is by the 2nd month, are you ready? No, I'm going to need the surgery. So it's almost like they should have just did it, if that's the case. But I mean, I understand Look, just like how we were talking with Rose, you don't want to ever just cut yourself up. You know, a lot of people say over time it's worse. So, I mean, yeah, we just knew that he was going to get hurt fantasy wise. I didn't know he was going to be another major injury, but apparently it is.
Yeah, I got you. So, go over some NBA scores real quick.
Damn, you didn't ask my opinion.
My bad, JG. What are your thoughts, JG?
Forever, man.
What do you think, JG?
Why you gotta say it like that? You the one messed up. But it was not surprising once again, because like you just said, we called it. But it makes it even worse because he's another person that I can't remember the last time that he played an entire season. I again don't think that he did ever in his career so far. Like, if you remember when he first came in the league, he was out the entire first season because of injury, and he just has not been able to stay healthy. Like, when he's healthy, Blake Griffin is a beast. This year, again, he was actually healthy to start the season. And he was looking real good, man, because it wasn't too many people on that team that could score like him. And Blake Griffin, he was the point guard as well. He
looked like the leader of the team.
Yeah, he's playing that point forward type of role. So it was looking nice for him fantasy wise. But again, like, you know, I hate to call the injuries, but we seen it coming. So that happened to him. But it's just literally at the worst time because you don't have Chris Paul anymore, and you lost Patrick Beverley for the entire season. Who else do you have? You don't have Gallinari either. Gallinari is another person who's injury prone. Literally, the Clippers have some injury prone ass players, and it's sad, man, because they could have done damage. They were actually doing pretty good in the first 8 games of the season, but once you had the first injury, then it just all goes downhill from there, man. So, you know, just another sad story for the Clippers, man. The Lakers gonna take back that spot for the best basketball team in LA.
Thank God, we needed to. It's been a few years when Clippers just you know, it's been LA signing team.
y'all were hating that boy.
Bro, hell yeah, that shit is abnormal. The Clippers, that Los Angeles favorite team. What?
Yeah.
So,
and rumors coming around that DeAndre Jordan might be on the trading block because they need to get Eric Bledsoe. I don't know, man.
Do you think Blake Griffin's injury was part of the Kardashian curse? Because he's dating Kendall Jenner. No.
He is. Hold on, man. Wait a minute. He is. I don't be paying attention like that. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Yeah. Yep. I agree. I think that's true.
Yeah, because Tristan Thompson isn't around right now either, right?
Yeah, Tristan Thompson is also hurt. Goddamn, boy.
And then what's his face's career just tanked. Remember, he was a double machine with the one that married
Humphreys.
Humphreys,
yeah. Man, stay away, man.
Reggie Bush. Oh man, that Kardashian curse
right now.
That Kardashian curse is for real. Bro.
I don't know, man. If I did, what's her name? Not Chloe, but if it's Courtney, I'm sure I'd be all right. I wouldn't be cursed. I'm just saying.
Nah, you talking about what's his face?
Nah, Scott did that shit to himself. But enough. Anyways, let's get to the standings right now for the Eastern Conference. We still got the Celtics right now. They're at 19-4 right now. The Pistons are actually second in the East with 14-6, and then you got the Cavaliers that are 15-7. Then you got the Raptors and 76ers. Down at the bottom, the last three, you got the hopeless Brooklyn Nets. We already knew that Atlanta Hawks are gonna lose out completely.
They beat the Knicks.
Yeah, they ain't tank mode right now.
Right,
they just gotta play the Knicks and they'll win every game.
And then
he just lost. I think John Collins had an injury and Dwayne Dedmon is out too, so they about to be injury prone as well.
Right, and speaking of losers, it's losers. We got the Chicago Bulls. They're on a 7-game losing streak. We all expected this to happen, and we know Flock was preaching this. That's what they want. They just want to tank, revitalize, and get some draft picks, and go from there. Then we go over to the Western Conference, and typical 3 teams in the lead right now. You got the Rockets at 17-4. You got the Warriors at 16-6, and the Warriors just outlasted the Los Angeles Lakers last game, and they went into a couple overtimes. And it was funny because they interviewed, obviously, LeVar Ball's claim to fame when he said that Lonzo is better than Steph Curry. They asked him again after the game. Of course, LeVar is going to say, yes, my son is better than Steph Curry. I thought it was interesting, but also, that's his son. My father is my biggest fan, too. Even if he sounds ridiculous, I can't be mad at LeVar for saying that, but
look, in a different, light here, especially since I've been pretty critical of Lonzo Ball. If Lonzo was hitting those shots on an average pace, like average for the league, because right now he has the worst field goal percentage, right? But let's say he was hitting 45 to 50%, his numbers would be up there with anybody.
Of course, because he's getting his rebounds, he's getting his assists, he's gonna get that, and that's the thing that makes him great. But the thing that's bringing him back is the fact that his inconsistent shooting. That's what it is.
But the thing is, we're always going to go back to it. His shot is just so ugly.
He's got to
luck that it goes in. It seems. Yeah, it almost looks like it's us throwing up shots. If we throw up 50 shots and we make 10 of them, we're going to be happy about it, right? That's what his pace is right now, and it's horrible.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. But we'll see. We got the Spurs, and this, like I said, top 3 teams. Not really surprised. Spurs are 14-7. You got the Trailblazers at 4. Timberwolves at 5, and then the last 3, and the Lakers ain't in the last three of the Western Conference. Thank God. You got the Suns at 8-15. You got the Sacramento Kings at 6-15, and then you got the Mavericks at 5-17. But one team in particular that I want to talk about real quick is Memphis Grizzlies. No, the Memphis Grizzlies. What's going on in Memphis, fam? Like
they fired the coach.
The coach got fired.
Well, they needed to, man, because he benched Gasol for no reason.
Yeah, I think that's the reason why he got fired, because he only with them for 2 seasons. Like,
also, rumors were Chandler Parsons is messing everything up. So I don't know how true that is, but definitely that was
the worst contract. The Mavs were smart to just let him walk, because that was I have no idea why he thought he was worth that much. I remember him getting mad at the Mavericks for saying that I'm a max player, and Mark Cuban's like, yeah, whatever.
I love Chandler Parsons on the Mavericks, and I really expected better of him. I didn't like the contract money, but that was again during the time where everybody was getting. It's
gonna happen. I mean, we're gonna see a lot of players next year get these max contracts. We're gonna look at it every year. Actually, now that you think of it, now that we brought it up, every year we've said that about somebody, right? What's his name? Otto Porter this year, right? We've all said that. The year before was what's his face? He got a max contract, and with the very first guy that I could think of was Joe Johnson.
We're not talking about any of the Lakers' dumbass trades. We had to finally get rid of everybody. We're good, yeah.
But you don't have you guys. Your biggest problem is not getting max contracts, because Dwight Howard didn't want it from you guys. What's his face didn't want it either.
No, it's the people we did give contracts to.
But that's because nobody's going over there, which was pretty shocking, because the Lakers used to be able to get anybody. If you were interested in a player and you're the Lakers and you offer a max contract, people would normally take it right away, because it's the LA lights and everything, right?
Right.
But for some reason, nobody wanted to do it. I think if they actually kept Howard, they probably would have been good that year.
It's definitely gonna change. But just so we can switch over, we're gonna go ahead and talk about the NFL. So we wanted to talk about something positive, and anytime we typically talk about the NFL, unfortunately, we have to mention Donald Trump. We've had to mention Ezekiel Elliott. We've had to mention Colin Kaepernick. But some type of positive, I will say some type, not a complete positive in my eyes, because I feel like there's some stuff still going on in the back end. The NFL and the players reach a $89 million deal that will be paid out over different charities for the next, through 2023. It'll be for local and national community efforts related to social justice reform. So organizations such as Dream Corps, the United Negro College Fund, give me some money, please, and everyone else too of color. And they got a lot of other community oriented groups. I think it's dope that they came to they came to an agreement, but I also don't feel like this is going to change anything in my eyes. JG, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. It's a nice gesture by the NFL. The one thing I want to note about what's going on is this was not provoked or this wasn't really backed by the players. This was actually the NFL doing this. So this is the one thing I want to know. That was interesting. And they didn't. And also they said that this is not something that they're doing to require their players to stand during the anthem. So that's very important as well. They're not putting any clauses behind them doing this. So yeah, hopefully, it's obviously it's going to be positive, but I'm just hoping that nothing negative comes from this or any other controversy just because the NFL decided to do this. So,
right, Siggy, your thoughts?
But what's his name pulled out of the Players Coalition, Eric Reed, because he thinks it's a sham.
So never mind. It's already there. I take that back. It's already some controversy.
Yeah, there already is. What he thinks is happening is that this is pretty much like hush money. It's the ultimate goal is to have pretty much the players not kneel right during the anthem. So at least that's what he's saying it is. So what he's basically thinking is that there's payout just for the protest to stop, and the Players Coalition, I think it's made up of Anquan Bolden and stuff like that, right? They're the ones that made the deal.
Mm-hmm.
I think he pretty much told the NFL that there's not going to be a guarantee that that they can't have all the players stand or whatever. But I think it's more so basically saying in a way that I can tell you that the Players Coalition won't kneel, but I can't tell you what Eric Reed and everybody else that left is going to do. So that's what it's kind of pretty much why Eric Reed is saying it's a sham, because he's going to come back and say they're paying them off to make sure they stand up.
Right.
I really hope that's not the case.
Yeah.
I really hope.
Right.
I mean, that's what it's going to look like, right? Because if you have all the, but at the same time though, the NFL can't. It's not like they can say that is what it is. I mean, if the whole purpose of the whole thing, if everybody's saying it's about the social justice, etc., and the NFL is giving $89 million, that means they are doing something, right? So that means they are listening. That means that in the end, what started off as just a silent protest is actually becoming action. Everybody should be happy about that, I would think. But I don't know why. I don't know. This is why I always thought the whole thing, there was no end game, and it doesn't look like there's ever going to be an end game. Because there's always going to be somebody that's not going to be happy about what. Either somebody's going to say it's not enough, or somebody's going to look at it as, hey, they're trying to hush me.
I got you. Well, hopefully we'll see. I'm sure more things will come out of this in due time. So we'll just see how it goes. Talking about the NFL, Cowboys currently playing the Redskins right now at the time of this recording. And the Cowboys are looking pretty great, actually. They ended up winning the game 38-14. And they beat the Washington Redskins. So now the Cowboys are 500. They are 6-6. And we talked about this off camera a little bit, but look what happens when Dak Prescott gets a line, gets his offensive line back. They're able to put in work. Dez Bryant was putting in work. He looked great. And yes, this is the Redskins, but the Redskins are also they're not a bad team. It wasn't like they just beat some type of scrubs. Like Kirk Cousins went off, got 26 of 37 attempts, 251 yards, 2 touchdowns. Alfred Morris from Dallas, 27 carries, 127 yards, 1 touchdown. So people were eating on both sides, and Cowboys just look pretty good. Siggy, how about them Cowboys?
And their defense look good. Look, this is exactly what happened. Watch, now everything that we were talking about, what's wrong with the Cowboys, etc., now everything is going to be back to normal.
They saw the title of the video. That's what it was.
It's what happens. Look, we already knew the problems, or at least I knew the problems here in Texas, is that their line was decimated by injuries, etc., and their receiving corps just wasn't doing enough, especially when Dez was, obviously hobbled. He hasn't been 100% healthy. Now, all of a sudden, Witten was healthy, he has a touchdown. Dez is healthy, he has a touchdown. Now, the guys that you don't need to rely on as much actually made catches now, like Terrence Williams, etc. The team actually had their line, so now you had Alfred Morris could run for 126 yards. And it wasn't just him that ran good. It was, what's-his-face did also behind him. Rod Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the team just looks a lot better because whenever you have, and Dak didn't even need to do much because, the line did his job. So I think eventually you're going to have Dak Prescott be a guy that can throw 250, 300 yards and lead the team down the field and stuff like a Tom Brady. But you don't need to do that right now. You just need to play your strengths. And the strength of that team is just running game, ground and pound, play action, and, either throw to Dez or Witten, and that's all you need. And that's all they needed today.
Right. JG, your thoughts?
I mean, the stats don't show it because Dak really didn't do that much on the ground as far as just total yardage, but he still got 2 touchdowns. So the offense they had a running game, like Siggy said, when you get your O-line back, like you see what happened with the running game. Like Zeke obviously is special, but I mean you had Alfred Morris get 127 on the ground, so that just shows you everything you need to know right there. When you get your running game established, the Cowboys are actually nice. When Dez Bryant is healthy, like you can actually do things in the air a little bit
because you spread out the field and the fact that you actually have protection.
Exactly. I mean, it's simple. It's simple. If you know football, if you don't know much about football, you need to know these 2 things, or actually just one thing. If you get the running game going, obviously you're going to open up the passing game. It's as simple as that. Or you could just obviously just beat them up on the ground all day. But like I said, just one opens up the other. So like this is what happened when they stopped the running game. When they didn't have a running game at all, they lost. And Dak didn't even have to do much tonight, and he didn't have to do anything last year for real. Because I mean, you had Zeke. You didn't have to do anything besides that. You know, those off games when Zeke didn't get any yards. But I mean, that was like the defense. That was his defense. You can't do much about that. But like Dak doesn't really have to do much. So that's what it is, man. I'm not a believer that the Cowboys are back just yet, but they're in a better position, obviously.
Right. And you know, we've been talking about the some major things that happened in the NFL, and this is kind of a surprising thing that we're actually talking about. And you know, this is some New York Giants fans. Eli Manning, he will be benched on Sunday, and this will be the first time he's benched in over 200 plus games. This is he's ending his record. It's done. It's over with. And there's been a lot of players that have actually been talking about this and saying that the Giants, from all the way up from the front office to the coaching staff, they feel like that they handled this inappropriately. He's been out there for over 210 games starting, gonna end his streak because of how things are with the Giants. Me personally, Eli hasn't been playing well. But it's not just Eli. It's the team, it's the coaching staff, and everything. But you're into, what is it? What week is it right now? It's week 13?
13.
13. You're in week 13. The Giants are not going anywhere. They're not going to the playoff. They're not going to do anything. Why are you benching him now? Siggy, your thoughts?
Man, this is an absolute shock because they're pretty much, what this does is it's basically telling him we don't want you next year.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
And I don't understand, you know, franchise type quarterbacks. I know a lot of people are going to argue about, you know, him being franchise, etc.
He's definitely franchise quarterback.
When I say franchise type quarterback, is that you don't have to worry about
his loyalty,
what the quarterback is going to do, you know, and on the field. Like a lot of teams, like let's say my Jets, right? Josh McCown has been playing well here and there, but it's not going to be something that I can count on for 2-3 years down the road. We're obviously going to need another quarterback, right? The Giants now are putting themselves in the position as the Jets for no reason. Eli Manning can play for another 5 years, 10 years, whatever, and be what you think he is. Whether it's great or not, you know, that's up for debate, but he is somebody that can win a Super Bowl for you in the end. And that's what a lot of teams want, is a quarterback that can win a Super Bowl for you. So he's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. So that means, and a whole team that's 2-9, that should be the one position that you don't have to worry about. And to do this to him like this now, and then to say it would have been one thing if they had like a highly, you know, touted prospect behind him. You know, like let's say if it was Brett Favre, you know how whenever they wanted to push him out of town, it's because they had Aaron Rodgers. They're putting in Geno Smith instead. And we already know Geno, so obviously I'm a Jets fan. I can tell you right now that right there alone would never sit well with me if that's the case. If you would have told me that it was this other quarterback, that rookie they have is supposed to be the next, you know, Peyton Manning or the next Tom Brady, hey, I understand completely. You want to give him a shot to see what he is, etc. Now that you know everything is gone. But Geno Smith, I mean, this is somebody that's going to throw 5 interceptions next week. Why in the world are you doing this? It makes no sense at all. So the whole excuse of, oh, let's see what we got, doesn't make any sense when you're putting in Geno Smith. So it's a disaster. I think Eli should go to the Jets now. I would take him. I'll tell you that right now. I'll take him. So I hope he stays in New York by coming over here on our side.
JG, your thoughts?
Oh my God! The ironic thing about this whole situation is the controversy stays in New York, dog. How does this happen? Geno Smith goes from the Jets to the Giants. Eli Smith, in my eyes, is like a Tom Brady as far as long as Eli is held. Did I say that?
He meant Manning.
Yeah.
Eli Manning. Sorry. Eli Manning, in my eyes, is the same as Tom Brady. The fact that if Eli is healthy, you're going to start him regardless. If Tom Brady is healthy, ain't no way you were going to go to Jimmy Garoppolo or Jacoby Brissett. You only go to them if, again, Tom Brady was suspended or if he's hurt and you have to play your backups. Eli Manning is in that exact same position. So it literally makes no sense as to why you would bench him at this point. You cannot punish Eli because literally all of his receivers got hurt.
Yep.
That's absolutely ridiculous. We know what Eli is capable of. If you lost your weapons, what else can Eli do? Evan Ingram is not going to run everything. And what did I just say about the running game? What do the Giants not really have? A running game. Yep. So you can't tell me that Eli is the problem when he is forced to throw because you are having trouble running the ball. Like, that would take a lot of stress off of Eli if you actually invested in a dope running back, but the Giants have not. They've just been trying to rely on Eli throwing the ball, but he needs his weapons in order for him to throw the ball effectively. So it's just ridiculous. And then, like, again, like Siggy was saying, like, I'm a Jets fan too, and we all know how Geno is, man. Like, this is it's a joke, bro. It is an absolute joke. I can understand Davis Webb if you said, all right, man, we gonna give Davis Webb a shot, but you said Geno, my God.
Exactly.
You said Geno. So nah, man, that's not right by any means. And then on top of that, they were like, "Oh man, you can start a half. What's the point of him starting a half? I don't care if y'all are not in the playoffs anymore. Just let the man play."
Yeah, it wouldn't even make sense. Let's say he started the half of the Giants are winning, 21-0. Are they really going to bench him for Geno Smith still? I mean, right. What was the whole point of that? It makes no sense.
This is in the situation with the Cowboys last year when Tony Romo, could end up playing in the second half of the season. And you're like, all right, Tony Romo, you could throw the ball a little bit, but then we're going to put Dak back in. This is in the same situation. Like, the Cowboys were already in the playoffs. They were secured. I understand if y'all were in that situation, but y'all are not. So just let the man play. If you're worried about him getting injured, I can sort of understand that, but they didn't even say it. They're just like, oh, we're just going to go in another direction. Ben McAdoo at New York is hating you right now.
Right. They need to get rid of him. Get rid of him already at that point. I'm not even a Giants fan, and it pissed me off.
Right.
Oh, you don't do – I mean, because I'm trying to think of a situation that's kind of like that, and it really isn't, because the Green Bay Packers and what they did with Brett Favre, I can't say it's the same because everybody knew that Aaron Rodgers was supposed to be good. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's not like – and also Favre was kind of wearing out his welcome at that point. He was already, I think, 38, 39, and – everybody's kind of saying, hey, look, you're not Brett Favre anymore. You're throwing interceptions. It's time to step down. But they didn't know how to do it because he's the legend, right? So it's kind of like, oh, man, what do we do? We want to be the assholes here. But that situation was different because, like we said, it was going to be a star quarterback coming in. Geno Smith? I mean, you can't – so that whole thing is thrown out the window when they say it's Geno Smith. You can't say, oh, we're going to bench a two-time winning – the only quarterback to ever beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl twice for Geno Smith. I mean, that's a joke. It really is a joke. I feel so bad for Eli, and there is no way that he's gonna stay in New York because of that. Or at least the Giants.
That man was about to cry, dog, when they interviewed him.
Yeah, man, he's fighting in tears. Yeah, I could be upset.
Sorry for him.
Mm-hmm. It's embarrassing in the end. They embarrassed him. That's what that is, an embarrassment. They embarrassed him for no reason.
He's not gonna play. I think he's gonna retire at the end of the season.
I wonder how he ain't gonna retire. He's not gonna retire.
No, wait. I won't say retire. Let me take that back. I think he might leave the Giants.
Ooh, you know what? I didn't even put two and two together, but he's gonna want to have revenge, right? What's the one team that he could play twice against the Giants if he goes to?
He's not going to the Jets.
No. I'm not talking about the Jets. I said play twice in a year.
Somebody in your division.
Exactly.
Who, the Redskins?
The Redskins. Kirk Cousins is a free agent, and he wants to leave.
Nah, I couldn't see.
Yeah, because they keep franchising him, so that's not gonna fly.
Exactly. I think the Redskins and Eli might happen. And it's gonna look so weird, but it's gonna be.
Please
weird.
don't do it within the division, man.
But he's gonna want that. He's gonna want.
Do you think he's gonna be with the team next year?
No, he's gonna get cut. He's gonna demand a release.
Yeah, because I mean, I wouldn't want to be there, and that's the thing. This man has been loyal. Say what you want about Eli Manning, the fact that he has that look on his face like he did something wrong, or he's not all there in the head.
Headlights.
Yeah, like whatever you may do, that man is loyal to the Giants, and for them to do him like that, I wouldn't blame him for wanting to leave either. Like they're right, and that's why some of the players around the league, like you got Tom Brady talking about it, you got Phillip Rivers talking about it, saying it was he believes that it's pathetic. He's been out there for 210 straight games, and then this is how they're gonna do him. Like this is, and even the owner of the team has admitted that they handled this incorrectly. That's the magnitude of everything. And I don't blame him for wanting to leave. F him. Go to Denver. Yeah. We'll see. Not just playing. He can go to Denver.
They go to Denver. No, they mentioned it though. They definitely mentioned it.
Yes, they did. Yeah, they did. But we'll see.
That's interesting because Peyton Manning. Well, and I'm pretty sure he owns like a piece of the Broncos or something at that point. So that'd be pretty interesting if that's the case.
I don't know. I don't know if John Elway would want Eli, but
why wouldn't he though? He has a great relationship with Peyton, so why wouldn't he want his little brother?
And he's definitely an upgrade over any quarterback they have over there right now.
Absolutely.
That's facts. So let's talk about the NFL schedule right now. So we got. So the matchup already that happened with the Washington Redskins and the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas ended up winning 38-14. On Sunday, we got a few notable games. Well, not really notable. This first one I'm bring up. New England and Buffalo. New England is about to blow Buffalo out, in my opinion. We'll see how that goes. They're going to be live in Buffalo. You got Minnesota and Atlanta. Who do you guys got?
That one is a little bit tougher to.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Who do you got, Siggy?
I'm on the Minnesota Vikings train all of a sudden. Okay. I wasn't on there in the beginning, but they've shown me a lot. Case Keenum's actually been playing really well. That offense is rolling. Right. Defense plays good. Falcons defense sucks, so we'll see what happens.
JG?
I'm on the fence, man, because what Julio are we going to see? Are we going to see the Julio that picked up over 200 yards, man, and getting touchdown passes from Mohamed Sanu? Or are we going to see like a Julio that goes out every other game because he's having ankle issues? I don't know, man, but Julio had definitely had a breakout game last week. That was crazy, but I had him on fantasy, so I was geeking like a little schoolgirl because he finally showed up. I don't know, man. And then Matt Ryan, like I said, what Matt Ryan are we going to see? So it's going to be interesting. Obviously, Matt Ryan will forever be a better quarterback.
Look, Rhodes is going to be on Julio Jones, so I don't think Julio's going to get 200 yards.
This is true. Yeah, I definitely don't think he's going to get 200 because it was just because that Bucks secondary.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Prone, so we knew that was going to happen.
I'm on a fence.
I'm just going to go with the Falcons.
Yeah, I'm on a fence, but I don't know. For some reason, I feel like Atlanta's going to show up all of a sudden and actually beat Minnesota. Even though Minnesota's
Freeman is back. Didn't he clear concussion protocol?
Did he?
Yeah,
but see, that's the thing. See, both of you said. Right now, I'm gonna go with Atlanta because I feel like Atlanta, whatever everybody feels like Atlanta's gonna win, they lose. Just look at the Super Bowl.
I think they're gonna show up this time. I think they're gonna show up.
All right, if you think they're gonna show up, that means they won't.
All right, we'll see.
The you guys remember South, here, man. You got three teams that are close, so
right.
Atlanta definitely needs it.
Yeah, they definitely do. Another game I kind of wanted to bring up: Kansas City and the Jets. Kansas City Chiefs, New York Jets. Siggy, who you got?
The Jets are a hard team to beat at home. So Carolina, they did it. Now the score doesn't look like like it was close, but that was actually a really close game. The Jets blew it in the end.
The Chiefs need to win this though. So you still thinking the Jets are gonna win?
No, I think the Chiefs are gonna win, but it's gonna be very, very hard. And I think the Jets. I wouldn't be surprised if the Jets win. That's what I'll say.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either the Jets win, especially because the Kansas City needs this win. I think
and Kansas City hasn't shown up this last 3 or 4 weeks.
They've been terrible. They were started off at 5-0. They need this win. They need it. Jay?
Yeah, what has happened to Kansas City, man?
They fell off. They don't have that momentum anymore.
Kareem Hunt has been not even average. He's been horrible. I mean, he gets like 10 yards only now. And this is somebody
crazy start to the season. And now you have Alvin Kamara is playing way better than him. Yep. I thought that Kareem Hunt was going to literally run away with possibly like the Rookie of the Year, but I don't know, man. I really don't know. Given the way that the Jets have been playing, like Robbie Anderson has been looking really good. Josh McCown has been solid. He's definitely been solid at QB. So I might this game have to give the edge to the Jets pulling it off. I don't believe in the Chiefs anymore.
And we saw what the Chiefs did against the Giants in the same stadium. They sucked, and that was after a bye week where Coach Reed is usually he was like 14-2 coming into a game after the bye. He went to the Giants and lost to the Giants who had nobody. And so if looking at that game, they're in the same stadium, a better team. The Jets are better than the Giants, and the Chiefs are still playing bad. Man, it's hard to pick the Chiefs. I know you're supposed to, but it's hard to pick them.
Right. Well, we'll see. It's gonna be a close one. I kind of personally want to hear what you guys' thoughts behind this. Los Angeles Chargers and the Cleveland Browns.
Oh, come on.
No. The reason why I bring this up is because the last time Cleveland actually got a win, it was against my Chargers. So
this time your Chargers are actually in a roll. It's funny because the records of the Chiefs and the Chargers, they show the Chiefs at 6-5, and then the Chargers at 5-6, same division. You would think that the Chiefs have been like the better team, but really the Chargers are the better team, right? With the worst record, right?
They're going to
beat the Browns every year.
Yeah. It's either the first half of the season or the last half of the season. They either start really well and they end horribly, or
I only want to see that game for one reason and one reason only.
To see Cleveland win.
Josh Gordon. No, I just want to see what he does. He's back.
Yeah, we'll see. I still think the Chargers are gonna win, but if they lose, though, I wouldn't be surprised because the Chargers. No, I would not be surprised because the Chargers fuck themselves all the time. They do.
Nah, Philip gotta have another field day on these guys.
Exactly.
I hope so.
Like your Chargers in a row. This is the year where the Chargers actually win all the December games. So
well, hopefully. All right, we got Carolina and New Orleans.
Another tough one.
That's a tough one. I'm going New Orleans on that one, fam.
I'm going the Saints also. Saints play better at home. Carolina, they struggled against the Jets, even though they did win. I just don't see it with the Panthers. I know that record is good.
Both records are good. Both of them have great records, 9-2 and 8-3.
I think the Saints defense is a little bit better too right now.
Yeah, I think the Saints are gonna take it.
If Christian McCaffrey does not play, then I'm going to automatically give it to the Saints.
Yep, I agree.
Because he's having issues right now.
Which running back's going to go off because this is important for draft?
Kamara.
Is it going to be Ingram this week?
Ingram.
Or is it going to be Kamara?
I think it's going to be Kamara again.
It better be Ingram.
Yeah, they do be switch. They do switch.
It better be Ingram. I got him in.
For your fantasy?
Yeah. It better be Ingram.
Bad.
We're going to skip over this game. I wanted to, but I'll ask JG.
What, the Rams and the Cardinals?
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about this game. I actually want to talk about last week's game.
All right.
Go for it.
All
right. So we passed that test, man. We actually almost blew it though. I'm gonna be honest.
Did y'all almost blow it?
Yeah, we showed up in the second half. We showed our former selves, and I was getting very, very upset. But we ended up pulling out the win. Even though Kamara, he still ended up running all over us. We shut Ingram down, but Kamara, we could not stop this man. Like, I actually saw Kamara play a full game this time, and oh my lord, we were on TV, man. I was like, wow, like, I can actually watch a full game of the Rams. It was crazy, regional. So it was interesting, but like I said, we ended up coming out with the win, so that was a solid win for us. But
hey, Goff looked better than Wentz, in my opinion.
That day.
Yep. Yeah, and Wentz did good. But
yeah, I don't know. I actually disagree. I think that Wentz was still
Goff looked better. He did.
Yeah. We did pretty good, man. I'm glad that Sammy Watkins showed up. He did really good replacing Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp. We got some crucial catches when we needed that as well. So we actually did not lose a beat, and I'm surprised because I thought there were Robert Woods being gone, we were going to like implode. But besides like those defensive issues, because oh my god, all these freaking calls against us, I was getting super upset. I'm like, can y'all please stop? Like, we always beat ourselves. because we're generally like always a good team, but like I said, throughout the years we beat ourselves. But like I said, we passed that test, and I'm very happy. Arizona, come on, man. Of course, I'm gonna say that we gonna win. Like, did you see how we destroyed them in London? Come on.
Yep. Now y'all should beat them easily.
And we gonna be facing Blaine Gabbert instead of Drew Stanton. We probably gonna mess up Gabbert too, man. Like I said, Blaine Gabbert, you better watch out come Sunday, because I'm telling you, we got a vendetta against Cardinals quarterbacks.
That's very true. So the last game is probably the hardest one. Philadelphia Eagles and the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle.
It doesn't matter. It's not gonna be hard at all. It's the Eagles. Let me tell you why. The Seahawks, without their defense, you saw it. Even though I think they did win last week though, but that team is not the same.
Their defense is hurting.
It was against the 49ers though. Let's be real. It was against the 49ers.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though it's a division game, come on, man. Like, we knew the Seahawks were gonna win.
I'm telling you, the Eagles, I think, are going to destroy them, knock them back into earth. This is going to be probably one of those 45, 50 type of games to something, maybe 21, just because at least I give the offense a little credit this year for Seattle. That's about it.
Right.
It's going to be a blowout.
So,
what do you think?
I don't know. Like, I want to go with Philly, but Seattle, they're hurting. I'm leaning towards Philly. I'm gonna go with Philly, but it's gonna.
Do you think it's gonna be close though?
I think it's gonna be close.
Just because of Russell Wilson. I just think just because of Russ.
What do you think, JG? Close?
Yeah. We're gonna be close.
Speaking of the 49ers,
closer than you think. It's gonna be closer than you think.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah, he finally in the game because CJ Beathard had some little issues. So.
Right.
Jimmy G came in and he threw a touchdown too. So
right
in the fourth quarter.
He's playing the Bears. Do you think the Niners and Bears game? Do you think the Niners are gonna pull that one off?
Yes, I actually do. Because oh my God, Trubisky last week, this guy was absolutely trash. I don't know what happened that game, man. The Eagles destroyed them, dog. Eagles destroyed them, but Trubisky, he made it very, very easy on them. So I think that, if Jimmy G starts, man, I think that they're going to do way better against the Bears. I don't think that game is going to be close.
Right. I mean, we'll see. So there's some interesting games for the NFL for sure. So we'll definitely be on Twitter and everything like that, tweeting it out, and we'll talk about it the next podcast. So I appreciate everybody for coming through for another Triple Threat Sports podcast. Hopefully we can get a Patreon backer next week, and we can also do it live. Appreciate you guys for coming through. If you guys want to be a part of a series just like this, be sure to check out our Patreon. That's patreon.com/GI updates. We got a whole bunch of awesome tiers. This has been Ace of All Trades, UTXJG the Don, Siggy Guns with the game Illuminaughty, and we out. Peace.
Peace.
Bye.